Okay, so I'm going to start doing my Capri 260mm bigger 60mm pot brake upgrade conversion, whatever you want to call it. This is the standard setup right now. So we've got non-vented standard discs with M16 calipers. These can be made to fit vented discs by removing the two bolts, one there and one on the other side here, and you fit some spaces in between them, and it widens the actual caliper out, and you can fit the vented discs. But anyway, this is just the standard solid disc, which of course they get hot, and because the disc doesn't attach to the actual wheel itself, like a modern car, the heat isn't lost as easy, because it can disperse obviously into the wheel on a more modern car. So what this kit does is it completely removes them from being mounted here. The new disc gets mounted over this, which means this lip here needs to be machined back a little bit to sort of fit the disc over, and then you get some brackets fitted to the old, just get in here, the old caliper mounting brackets. Oh, hang on a second, I need to get a better angle. There we go. So here's the old caliper mount brackets where this guy lived. You see the video just before this, you'll see me show you where it was all in situ. So a bracket goes on here, which spaces out a new pair of calipers, and then that goes and fits somewhere around here. Now I have the new discs, I have the brackets made, I've had the brackets made up, and I have the new calipers as well, from a Mondeo, I believe, or an old Granada, one of the two. So I'm going to actually removing the entire suspension system, because I'm taking all this out, fitting a new cross member to fit the V8 and stuff. So I want everything out so I can get it all POR 15'd and cleaned up and everything else. So I'm going to show you how to get this entire strut leg out. Now the first thing I've done is I've cracked off the bolts which hold the caliper in place, and the caliper just pulls straight off the disc, and it's just sat here chilling with a wire tie onto the track rod arm to stop any tension on the hoses. So we'll leave that there for now. The next step is to remove this castle nut. Now, if this is old, this can be an absolute pain in the arse to do, because there's a split pin that goes through it, and the split pin loves to get completely stuck in there, so you just end up having to drill it out. Basically just use loads of patience, loads of penetrative fluid like this stuff, yeah, I've gone ahead and bought brand new castle nuts and brand new spacers, washers. You can get these on eBay for next to nothing, so buy a new set because you're going to need them. Also get a new locking nut for here. I think that is a 17. Yeah, so okay, so to remove the strut leg, we just need to get this off here, and this bad boy off, and come on the other side. This nut here. So I'm going to crack these off and give you an update. Okay, so the next stage is to remove the disc and the hub. This all comes off in one big piece, and to do that, just get a screwdriver in this lip here and gently prise it, and it will eventually just come off like this. You see this is full of grease. The next stage is, if you can see, like, focus, there's another castle nut and cover just here, and a split pin which needs pulling out. So I'm going to pull this split pin out, and take off this big nut here, and we'll get this hub off. So I've got the castle nut and split pin out, and you can see this uses a big 26mm spanner to crack this off. And I shouldn't be on too hard because these wheel bearings aren't held in with much strength as to avoid overheating and damaging themselves. When you're doing this, it's probably worth getting yourself some new wheel bearings at the time. I think mine are shot, so just get this off. Okay. Okay, so oh yeah, get some new grease as well, because you need to re-grease all this. So in there now there's just a washer and the bearing, and this should all just pull, just like that, straight out. That's the complete hub. Here's the bearing, which I'm going to replace, and keep the washer, castle nut and everything else in a safe place. I'm going to bag this up and keep it somewhere safe. And there you go, straight up bottom of the strut leg. Now this gives us better access to getting this out of here, and I'm going to get my ball joint separator sort of in here and just crack it out. Okay, so to get the track control arms out easier, I need to remove this anti-roll bar. Now the way I've found to do this is to get a ratchet strap around both, because it's tensioned, you need to relieve the tension. So mole grips, ratchet strap, tighten it right up, which removes the tension, so you can pull it out from those eyes easier. And then you've got to remove these 17mm bolts either side and drop it down. Okay, so I've used my ball joint separator to pop off these two ball joints here, leaving this one still in place. Hang on, try it. Still chilling out there. I have the anti-roll bar off. It's currently sat over there. It was a pain in the arse to get the ratchets on there and ratchet it up, but that's come straight out now. So it's looking nice and clear down here. Just need to figure out how to get this out of here. Now it's on there real tight, and my ball joint separator is just too big to pop that off, and the nut does not wind off. It just hits here and you can't get the nut off, so I don't know how I'm gonna get that. That's a challenge. I'm thinking about maybe just loosening the top of the strut and just wiggling the strut out with no load. So to remove the strut, we've got to remove these top 3 little bolts. So I'm going to give that a go now. Okay, I managed to get the separators on there. Just managed to get the nut off by dropping the strut leg out. The angle just got sort of right. So now I'm in the process of tightening up this ball joint separator, and it should just pop straight off. I've popped on the nut on the end of that thread, so in the event I accidentally drop this, I don't damage any of the threads, which would be pretty awesome. Alright, so I've got the strut leg nice and bare. Still struggling to get this off, so in the meantime I'm going to demo how the new brakes are going on. Now these are, I believe, Granada 60mm ones. I'll show you how they look. I'll put the actual exact model and specifications in the comments. As you can see here, they look like they've been refurbished at some point, so they look pretty nice. The last guy also crimped the end, so no moisture should be in it. So it's a caliper and carrier setup, and the way this goes on here is I've got these adapter brackets. And what these do is these go on here, I believe something like that, and the original mounting bolts clamp the adapter to the strut leg, and then the carrier bolts sort of bolt to this, like so, and that's what makes it up. So I'm going to start bolting it together now and take another video. Alright, so removing the hub from the disc can be an absolute pain in the arse, because whenever you get a socket on these 14mm bolts, there's no way of really getting any leverage on them. The disc's just moving and it's a pain in the arse. So the way I've found to do it is to place it into the wheel, so the wheel studs are in there, and then 13, 14. If you grab the tie with your legs, and you'll be able to get enough play on each of these to crack them straight off. Like that. Simple. Alright, so I've got the system mocked up now. Just take this hub off quickly. Right, so you can see that I have yet to get this bottom bolt in to the hub, because it just fouls there, so I'm going to have to grind just a bit more off here to get that in line with that hole. So it's really close. So it's going to go in there. You see, there's the one holding in here. Now, the bolt that holds the new carrier to the bracket here, in fact I've got some here, I need some spacers, some sort of spacer washers to go in between here, and that's just to get the disc and pad and everything lined up properly when it's all in place, and also to clear the bolts that are in here holding the bracket to the hub. Sorry, the bracket to the strut. So that's that kind of in place. Unfortunately, my slot mags do not fit over the carriers, so these are only 6J wheels, so I may need some 7Js, or I could grind off this corner of the carrier just a little bit, and then my wheels will go straight on. So also here are the new discs, much bigger than the others. Again, I'll put the part code and stuff in the video description for exactly which these are. Now, these are going to get mounted not on the back like they used to do, but onto the we'll do this with onto onto here like this, but it won't go on because the hub needs machining back ever so much. I think it's to 300 and I'll put the exact measurements in the description as well. I don't know all this by hand, but off the back of my head. But yeah, so we need to get that sort of machined back, and then the disc will go straight over the top and straight into here. I'll actually compare the size of these new ones with the old discs. So here's the old one, there's the new one. See, they're considerably bigger. Much more braking surface. So yeah, that's that.